All right, guys, welcome back to another New Legacy podcast. I got my man with me right here. You came all the way from Washington just to do a podcast.
That's
Appreciate you.
right. That's right.
Tony, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Uh, I'm Tony Mendoza. I'm from Washington State. I literally live about 2.5 hours away from Seattle. It's a small little town, and I just came out here, and I was able to enjoy some time with Zune and Miguel, and we came out here to just kind of the vibes and the experience, and it's been good. A little bit about myself is I'm a coach. I'm a creator. I also do counseling. When back home, I'm a counselor. I'm a middle school counselor, and I just love impacting the youth and instilling belief in just people, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to see you here today, I didn't know who was coming,
Yeah.
but I've been watching your videos,
Uh
and I
huh.
was like, wait a minute, that guy looked like he's from the video. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the fitness community, the entrepreneur community, it's actually pretty small.
Uh huh.
So to see you in real life is like crazy.
To see you in real life is
I know.
crazy
That's
too,
what I'm
guy.
saying.
Come
That's what
on
I'm
now.
saying. It's like weird, you know. But like, there's not a lot of people that have the courage to get on camera and share their story.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
it's definitely a little bit fearful, but
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
here and we're doing it, and I
I
think
mean, you
that's all
did
that
you
matters.
did your first podcast today.
I did.
How did that feel?
It felt very like I was jumping into like I was opening a can of worms, bro.
Hmm.
And it's just like being able like opening the can of worms and just letting it all out. Like it just felt like that.
Yeah,
Um, but it was good because it lifted off like a weight that I had been holding on, for a while.
yeah,
And just being able to be humble and be real and be honest.
yeah,
I think that's how it felt fearful, but at the same time, it was something that I needed.
yeah. I mean, you did a lot better than me. Like the first time I did my podcast, I turned all red. It took me 2 hours,
Oh wow,
and he asking me to do retake. We did it in my living room in Castro Valley.
yeah,
But one of my coach and also a friend of mine forced me to be on it, and he was like, "Hey man, if you really want this dream, you just got to get on this podcast because
yeah,
I won't take you seriously
hmm,
after, or if you don't do it, you know." So
yeah,
I did it. I was like so scared, but then it opened like crazy opportunities, you know,
yeah,
and I don't know. I feel like at the gym today too, you know, you guys are looking pumped. You know, Miguel's behind with
yeah,
the wifeys,
yep,
you know, and the girlfriendies. But you know, at the gym today, we're looking at each other and we're like, hey man, a lot of buff people out here, they're working out, but not everyone can get on the camera and share their story.
yeah.
When did you start that journey?
I started that journey actually last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I just felt like I had a calling,
Mm.
and I felt like I had a calling from God to be able to share my story and just share a bunch of positive things because I feel like social media can be filled with like a bunch of negative shit. And I think at the end of the day, it's like we're here to share a good message.
Right.
And I think that's something that I saw that needed a need.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already a counselor, and I just wanted to put my voice out there because I felt like I didn't have a voice.
Mm.
And so then I also joined a coach's program, Coach I Gas Money.
Mm-hmm.
And so that also very exposed me to new things
Yeah.
and posting more and just doing more content and being more myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I started about like a year and a half ago, and now we're here. And
Yeah.
it's definitely been hard to do so because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot
Courage.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of dropping the ego
Mm-hmm.
to be able to put yourself on camera and just not think about what people are going to say about you.
Yeah. I mean, Gas Money is also one of my coaches too as well.
Oh, okay.
And I told him he can no longer call himself Gas Money because he's too big now. I call him the gas tank. You know what I'm talking about?
Gas tank.
You know what I'm talking about? He didn't call himself Gas Money. He got too much going on. You know what I'm talking about? But no, I appreciate that because the thing is, like, do you feel like on social media right now there's a war between the positive people and the negative people?
There's definitely a war for sure.
Yeah.
And I said it before. It's like narrow is the path to life, and wide is the path to destruction.
Mm.
And I just feel like a lot of people are following that negative path. And sometimes social media could just be something that we get on there and we just doom scroll,
Yeah.
and whatever we're ingesting is not even good for us, bro. Like,
Hmm.
and I feel like a lot of people, like, social media has its good things and its bad things, but at the end of the day, it's like everything else. Everything has a good thing and a bad thing,
Hmm.
and what you do on social media definitely dictates how you act and how you like show up,
Oh, okay,
how you
okay.
show up to the world, and like if you're ingesting bad shit on social media, if you're ingesting like girls, if you're liking pictures, and
Uh-huh.
that's where you're basically basing your life around, and
Yeah.
you're surrounding yourself with, or you're not surrounding yourself, but you're basically putting your social media, and that's what you're ingesting.
Right. I feel like sometimes like the algorithm is like if you start liking something or you go
Yeah.
down a bad path, it
Hmm.
just like makes that path bigger for you to go down.
Yeah.
Do you get that or?
Yeah, well, back, before,
Hmm.
I would like girls' pictures. I would like other things on social media that wasn't good for me,
Yeah.
and and then I would just follow other girls, and it was like, it was just like, it was I was chasing lust,
Mm.
and lust definitely like took over a lot, and it was just because that's what I was ingesting, and that's what was popping up on my algorithm on social media.
Yeah.
But that's because I was doing it, bro. I was the one there putting myself,
Right.
doing the action
Whoa.
doing the action liking, and it was like basically giving me that algorithm. Now you go on my social media, bro, none of that is on there. There's a bunch of positive stuff, God stuff,
Yeah.
bunch of fitness stuff, like that's literally like you could check my page, and it's literally all of that.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a war between the good stuff and the bad stuff, and it's up to us to make that decision what we want to follow.
Wow. When did you find God?
So growing up, I was always a believer of God. I grew up as a Catholic, and then I was also exposed to Christianity with my mom a little bit growing up. But I was always a believer of God. But I never really like got into it like so deeply until I joined Coach's Gas Money's program, basically.
You mean gas tank? Gas
Gas tank, gas tank. After I joined his program, like, his messages were very intriguing.
Hmm.
They were very like, they would hit home for sure. And so, that's why he got me to get in his program, and that's when I was already kind of going through the process of fasting, and I was starting to kind of get closer to God, and I think I was trying to fill that. I was filling a void where I felt like I needed something more to life,
Mm.
and I didn't know what it was.
Did you feel like you kind of figure out all your basic needs and you're like, well, what's the meaning of life or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. So I came to that realization at some point in my life, where I was probably around like 23 or 24. Like, why am I here? I
Mm.
started asking myself, like, why am I here? What is this life about?
Mm.
And so then his messages were so intriguing. They were like very purpose driven. So like, I want that, And so that's why I hired him. And so then, like I said, before I started fasting, I was fasting. I started first fasting. I started reading more of the Bible, and then
Mhm.
I started going to church more. And a lot of people don't know, it's just like that's what started the journey
Wow.
first. It was just the fasting first, and that, and then I ended up getting in the program with Coach,
Uh-huh.
and he told me, hey, you need to let go of vices. You need to let go of all those vices, smoking, drinking.
Mm.
And then he told me, you got to track your macros. You got to do this. You got to do that. I was like, all right, all right. And I thought I knew it all when I jumped on his program. I literally thought I knew it all.
Yeah.
I thought that I knew it all, but in reality, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about life.
Yeah, it's just like, as we go on this entrepreneurship journey, and me, I'm learning the lesson in real time as well.
Yeah,
Like, we always thought we know everything.
for sure.
And then you're like, oh, shit. First year in,
Yep.
punch in the face. Second year in, kicked in the face. I
Yep.
was like, damn, that's, like from the outside, it looks like that. But
Yeah.
you mentioned fasting is like the fastest way to speak to God. That's like kind of, I heard that before.
Yeah.
Like, can you elaborate on it a little bit more?
So I started fasting. Like, that was like the first thing that got me into basically like more spiritual.
Hmm.
So I started fasting, and just it it quieted like my desires.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people, a lot of our addiction comes from the food,
Hmm.
and the food is like one of our main drives
Mm.
towards what we want, right? Because like we eat food all the time,
Yeah.
and I think just me being able to start fasting kind of like started humbling my spirit, and like putting me in a position to hear God.
Wow.
And so, like I said, that's kind of what started it all. And then as soon as I got into the program, like, coach said, do this, do that. I was like, and then he always says, you got to be a student of life. You know, you always got to be a student,
Right.
and not the teacher. You got to be the student. And so then I just kind of ingested all this, and he also says you got to do more and talk less.
Hell yeah.
Right. So that was one of the gems that I kind of just took head on, and that's why I ended up like having this massive transformation. You know, because I went from I was 40 pounds overweight,
Oh damn.
and I was literally at 100 no, I was at 215 pounds, and I hated myself. My self-esteem was tanked. Like I said, I was stuck on vices, doing all those things, but like I said, I wanted to fill that void, and that's when I found God, and I wanted more of God, and I wanted to know more of Him. And I think it was because I was trying to fill that void that, like I said, like I did grow up with my dad, but my parents divorced, and so I felt like my dad didn't teach me enough morals, values, and beliefs that I was able to get through reading the Bible. That I was able to get, the wisdom through reading the Bible and through coach's program, and whatever he was sharing was just so intriguing to me, and so I feel like God gave me that gift to be able to share my message, and that's why I was seeking it.
That like you're seeing that you can use your pain for a purpose.
Correct.
It wasn't meant for nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't meant for nothing.
What are some things that you struggle with like growing up that might have like created a void in your heart or so that's why you fall into those vices? Was there like some type of experience or some type of trauma that you had that like probably created a void from you?
Yeah, so at a young age, I was sexually abused, and I think I was meant to trust this person, and this person like did that to me. So then it kind of it just made me feel like it definitely tanked my self esteem, because I felt like I was supposed to be protected by this person, but in reality, like I was there, but they didn't protect me, and so it kind of put me down. And also, my parents divorcing at a young, I was 10 years old when they divorced. So those
Wow.
were some of the things that I went through.
So you probably felt like you had like no one on your side to help you.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is actually like the first time I speak on this.
oh, for real?
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry, but that's crazy. That's like I don't know what to say because like to be honest with you, like it's been a blessing and a curse too at the same time. I guess like
Yeah.
a lot of people go on the New Legacy podcast and we hear like their first time sharing a story.
Yeah.
We had a guest where he was like, "Oh, I never told this in public before or anybody, but I actually cheated on my wife, and the reason why is crazy."
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for opening up on this podcast. And I know like the audience that are watching,
For sure.
they're really gonna like be able to connect with you like on a real level. Like like we're out here really trying to spread a positive message because we know what the negative would look like.
Correct.
Um, but yeah, so I guess that probably created a void in your heart, and that's why you seek God.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely one of the reasons why I see God, and it just goes back down, or it goes back to me, wanting to, like I was questioning life, right? Like like I had, I'm the first in my family to go to college. I'm the oldest in my family, so I was the first one to do a lot of things, and so, but then I started questioning, like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? God gave me the ability to be a counselor, but I was like, but then I started questioning it after year one. I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I a counselor? Why am I going through this? Right. And so, but during that time, like a little bit before, I was stuck on vices. I was drinking, I was smoking. And so being a counselor actually pushed me to be a leader, because it exposed me to question life and be like, what do I want from life?
Yeah.
Why am I here? And so I know that counseling definitely pushed me to take out that leadership role out of me,
Yeah.
and that's why God put me there for a reason. Because I didn't, like me becoming a counselor, it just basically was so easy, so quick. It was like an opportunity that just showed up. I just kind of followed it and made it happen.
That actually makes a lot of sense now that I thought about it, because you wanted to be there for the next generation at a
Yeah.
younger age, and at that point you could pivot a lot in the positive way or negative way.
Yeah, correct.
But that's insane. Now that I thought about it, that's actually like crazy.
Yeah, coach always says your trauma is your purpose is hidden in your trauma.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Growing up, I was not very religious, but it was like until I had to hit rock bottom a couple times, and I had nothing
Yeah.
to lean on except for like God, and like I don't know, he came through,
Yeah. He always comes through, bro. And he's
and
come through to me multiple times. Like I said, like me being a counselor,
yeah,
me being like when I went to college, it came down to my mom instilled a lot of belief in me.
yeah,
She, like I said before in the podcast, I was saying, she instilled a lot of belief, a lot of planting of the seeds. She always said, "Hey, mijo, you could do this, you could do that. You're handsome." Like a bunch of belief that I lost based on the world because I got distracted
oh,
with the vices. I got distracted with the lust, all those things that I lost that belief that my mom had instilled in me.
wow, yeah. Because the thing is, like, we're at the gym today, and I was showing you some pictures that we took, and you're
Correct?
like, I don't even see myself that way. It's
That is, yeah,
like me, I go through my own transformation too as well, and I seen you have amazing transformation.
yeah,
But a lot of the time, like our mind is stuck before the transformation.
yeah. I
Like we see
agree.
ourselves as like not as good looking and or so, but you're good looking, like 10 out of 10 with your physique, everything like that. But
Appreciate it, bro.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah, no homo, right? But I'm just saying,
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
no, like, I was like, oh, why was he so like didn't see himself like that at the gym? So like I was like.
That was
I was like
that,
kind of shocked. It was kind of shocking actually. Usually people are overconfident when they do,
yeah.
some content when they're overshooting it. But you were like, oh no, I'm not that good. But you are.
No, yeah, definitely coming out here and being exposed to that just has definitely boosted up my self esteem,
Mm-hmm.
and just made me just being able to experience it and hear it from others is
Yeah.
a good thing. But also, I don't like inflating my ego too much because
Mm.
at the end of the day, I feel like I grew up with like body dysmorphia.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always been like one of those that like always like worried about how I looked, always worried about like seeking people validation. I was worried about like my body and all these things. But it's because, growing up, my mom would feed me a lot of food and she would be like, hey, you need to eat up so you could grow, so you could
Mm-hmm.
get strong. And, back when I was young, I was a fat kid.
Wow. I mean, did you get bullied for that or?
Yeah, I actually did get bullied.
Okay.
I remember I would go to my babysitter's house, and they would call me. They would. Oh, here's a story, bro. So I would go to my babysitter's house, and a bunch of the older kids, like the 13, 12-year olds, they would say like, "Oh, look, Tony, there's a bus passing. Don't mistake it as a Twinkie." That got to me, and they'd
Yeah.
always call me like Fat Tony and just
Oh shit.
those little things, bro, and those
It chips away. It chips away
yeah,
the confidence, like tiny bit.
and I was very much like seeking that validation, bro, growing up,
Mm.
because like it was something that I wanted to fill that void. I wanted to be the perfect child. I wanted to be the perfect person
Wow.
because I went through that. I always wanted the approval of others. I always wanted to make sure that everybody was good
Mm-hmm.
and that I was being the best version of myself, or
Yeah.
at least trying, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just pleasing other people.
Damn. So you got the case of being a people pleaser.
I did, yeah.
Wow. I mean I used to be too.
Hmm.
Still trying to like it comes back here and there.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of like the way we act as adult is just embedded in the trauma from the past,
I agree.
as a child. But you have to I don't have a certain type of routine or something that you do every single day to really, you know, pull that back. Like
Yeah.
do you have a specific routine any day?
This is where God comes in, bro.
Hmm.
This is exactly where God comes in. And a lot of it, it comes from Coach's program and that structure that he created.
Yeah.
It's in the morning, wake up when there's no noise. And I had to surrender to God. I had to let all those things go.
Wow.
I had to let it all go to God and surrender and just leave it up to him.
Mhm.
And he renewed my heart. He renewed my mind. And yes, it took me putting in the hard work,
Mhm.
getting the transformation that I got. Like it took all of that
Mhm.
for me to boost my self-esteem, to become the version of myself that I am today. And I'm just so happy that I was able to invest in his coaching program, because I don't know where I would be if I didn't do that, you know, because it's life changing. It was life changing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, growing up, you're guided all the way until like 18,
Correct.
and then you pick college or you go straight to work.
Correct.
And a lot of people, like, when they don't have that guidance, they go in a negative direction, and start spiraling down. Um, from what you've seen, what are some things that hold people back from being the best version of themselves?
A lack of action, a lack of taking action. That's where I was.
Yeah.
And it's because I was stuck on the vices. I was stuck on the drinking and smoking and doing those things, that I was basically like numbing my life. I was fogged up in my clarity, and so it was like I was basically trading my time, my action, for a vice.
Yeah, like, I mean, I drink before, I smoke before. It's cool, but like actually making an achievement in life, and knowing that will stay forever.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, like, those are like good times, like, if I smoke, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a spaceship flying, it's crazy, but
no, yeah,
the next day you're like, oh shit, what did I do,
yeah.
And it's just like, it's not a good way to live. I mean, what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's definitely not a good way to live at all. Because you get stuck. You basically, the world is created to distract you, and all these things around us is literally just a distraction. And then you lose clarity of your purpose. You lose clarity of where you're supposed to go. And at the end of the day, it's like you're gonna be there. There's an analogy that I like to tell my students at school. It's like you a captain on a ship needs to know the destination, because if they don't know where they're going, they're gonna get lost at sea. And a lot of us are lost at sea
Oh, that's
because
true.
at the end of the day, like, we don't know where the heck we're going, but we're losing the aim, and we're losing that because we're stuck with the vices. We're stuck with the distractions.
Wow. Like, day by day, if you're not pushing forward towards your purpose, I feel like it's just like, it's a candle that you burn, you cannot get back.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you're losing time.
Yeah.
Time is ticking, and you only have one life to be able to become the best version of yourself. And it goes back to, if we're not evolving, then we're dying, bro. We're slowly decaying.
Oh shit, that's good. And that's crazy. Because, like, when you're young, like in your 20s, you don't think about that. You just think about the next party, whatever. So, like, I hit 30. I'm 30
Yeah.
right now. I'm not sure how old you are.
I'm 27.
You're 27.
I'm 27. Yeah.
Okay, you're awake at 27 though. Like, I didn't feel like I was awake until like recently, because I was just moving through life,
And
And
you can
then
get stuck on that, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you're drifting through life.
you're just in a circle.
You're just
You're
like
living the
running
same
the rat
6
race.
months. You're
Running the little rat race.
Yeah, like the same 6 month repeating.
Repeating, yep.
And I was like, I gotta do something different, because, I need to move towards my goal a little bit more, because in no time I'll be like old.
Yeah.
It's just every opportunity. But you got the message much younger, so
It's growing up. I was always a mature person, a mature kid. My mom also like would trip out about like how mature I was.
Yeah.
I was responsible. She built a lot of belief in me. I was very responsible growing up. I was a go-getter. Like, I've always been a go-getter. I was like I said, first generation college student. I went to college because that's all my mom knew, right? Because I came from Mexico with nothing, and all they knew was that, hey, the new opportunity was here in America, and the only thing they knew was to go to school. And so I went to school.
Yeah.
And there was a pivotal moments in my life where my mom took me to work in the fields, right? Because I come from an agricultural town. I come from Sunnyside, Washington. A lot of people don't know where that is, but it's like 2.5 hours away from Seattle. And so there's a bunch of agriculture, and my mom would take me in the summers to work in the cherries, and it was hot, and I hated that. And I remember her saying, like, if you don't go to school, this is your life. And I was like, heck no, this is not my life.
Wow.
And so that's when I ended up, like, I didn't see myself being there, because she instilled all this value, or she instilled all these beliefs. She'd always tell me, like, English and Spanish, you have the opportunity, you got your papers, you're here, like, make it happen. And so I ended up going to school. I did all those things. And so it was a lot of like me now to this point. It has been a lot of navigating through life by myself.
Wow.
And it's been good, bro. It's been a wonderful process. I've learned so much about myself, and I thank that old version of myself a lot. I thank that old version of myself because I wouldn't be the person who I am today if that old Tony did never showed up.
Wow. I mean, because I feel like your mom was like, okay, I took it this far.
Correct.
You need to,
Up it up.
build it up from this foundation.
Yeah, so I believe that you're right, bro. Like, we are my parents built, or my mom, she built that in me, and she wanted me to do more, right? And I feel like our parents, they set that foundation for us. They build their house to the top, and then now it's our job as the new generation to build on top of that, and create our roof. So when our family comes, when I have my family, I'm able to instill good values, good beliefs, those things that I missed, but I was able to build upon, figured them out myself through God, through faith, and the discipline, and just all those things like played a big role on who I am today. And so I really feel like it's our job for the next generation to inspire those generations to come, bro.
Did you ever reconnect with your father or anything like that?
No, yeah, my dad's always been there.
No.
But it was just like he was 15 years old when he became a father,
Oh damn.
and he lost his father when he was 13.
Oh damn.
So in reality, he was learning how to be a father,
Wow.
and so a lot of the things that he taught me, he taught me what he knew, and that's he was always present, but he didn't teach me much about morals, values, and beliefs. One thing he did teach me though was like about God. My dad would take me to church, and so that was one of the things that I feel like definitely definitely has helped me now and made me seek God, right? And seek God and just want to know more of Him, because that was one of the things that I did take positively about from my parents, right? Because there's some things that they did that I'm not gonna take, and there's some things that they did that were good, right? They were hardworking. There were some good characteristics about them. They were hardworking. My dad would always say, "Hey," my dad still to this day, si Dios quiere, he always says that saying like, God's will, God's will, and at the end of the day, that's something that I carry with me, and I know God put me here for a reason to be here with you guys and share my story and just be on this podcast, and it's definitely, it's definitely something that I want to share to my youth. I want them to share their story, and believe that they can put themselves in situations that they have a voice, to share their story, and not be shut up by the world and by the trauma that's holding them against them, because all of us go to trauma, or all of us have trauma, my bad, and sometimes we stay stuck in the past, we stay stuck in the trauma, and that shouldn't be. That's where the enemy wants us. He wants us to be stuck in the trauma and be there and live in the past, because that's literally where a lot of people live, bro. A lot of people live in their past traumas. A lot of people live
Oh, I know. It's
with that.
crazy. The freaking, do you have a kid yet or no?
What was that?
Do you have a kid yet or no?
I don't.
I think you just broke the generational curse. You said your grandfather and your dad have like, or your grandpa had your dad at 13, right?
No, so my dad's dad got passed away when he was 13 because he got
Oh,
shot and killed.
oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
I never met him, but he got shot and killed. So then, like I said, my dad did what he could with what he had, because his, at 13 to lose your dad, like
That's crazy,
it's a
bro. I
pivotal
can't.
moment for him.
Like every day, I see my parents. I'm like, damn, I really need to be able to take care of them soon because I don't think they got much miles left.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that is true.
it's like a surreal like thing. I don't know about you, but
My parents are young, so I guess that's something that I don't really worry about. But I
that is
should,
good. That is
I
good.
should. But like I said before, they were 15 when I was born.
Yeah, I mean that's insane. But
It is pretty insane.
but with that comes a different type of struggle. Yes, different type of benefits. But it's different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I'm just grateful every day, just be able to like have the opportunity to meet amazing people like you,
Yep.
and I know you're gonna be successful in what you do because you're willing to go to distant to get your voice out.
Yeah.
And to just be on this podcast or come out here and work out with Miguel, things like
Yeah.
that. Because, you know, I have a lot of people that hit me up every single day.
Yeah.
And they want to be exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
But they can't take the action.
Yeah.
They can't get over their ego.
Correct.
I heard something you said earlier, like ego. There's a phrase behind it or something, but like it's like edging something out. But
Edging got out.
yeah. But like that's what's holding them back, though.
The ego. Yes.
Ego.
The ego will hold you back.
Like there's so many people that are so capable of so many things that I know behind the scene, but they just can't get on the camera.
Yeah.
And why do you think that? Besides the ego part, but like
It's it literally comes down to you're always thinking about what people are gonna say about you. You want to it goes back down to that and people pleasing.
Yeah.
And everybody nowadays just worries too much about what people think about them.
Right, because I feel like probably because they're seeing all their idol, everyone that they look up to, at the 10.0 version of themselves.
That is
or
true.
Like they're done, the finished
That
product.
is true. Yeah.
They haven't seen the behind the scene.
Now people don't see the behind the scenes. Social media nowadays, like we go and we scroll, and we see the end product. We see, and everybody only shares the good stuff, right? When you go on social media, you want people to you want people to see the good stuff.
That's right.
And they don't want you to see all the behind the scenes, but it's literally in the process, bro. Like they don't see the process, so they feel entitled to have the respect of having the physique or whatever. But no, you have to go in and put in the work. You gotta definitely humble yourself to yourself, and that's where that ego. You have to let go of the ego in order to be able to share your story and not worry about what other people think, because at the end of the day, you can impact millions of people by you just sharing your story, because a lot of people can relate to you. And that's what life's about. It's about impacting those around you.
Okay, so speaking of that, as a man, all right, I believe as a man you should have physical strength.
Correct.
Not just, everything else, but like we're like, the protector, the provider, right?
Yes.
So here's the question. It's a very serious question.
Okay.
Is it a requirement for a man to be able to bench 225?
Is there a requirement for men to bench two? That's a must, bro. That's a must. They must bench 225. Like, if you're not strong physically, then guess what? You're not strong mentally. You're not.
Yeah.
And that's the, you gotta basically discipline yourself, bro, and go to the gym. You gotta bench 225.
Did that question caught you off guard? No, I've been asking that question, bro. I've been like, 225. When you go to the gym, you hit the 225 for the first time. I hit it before. I'm just going back and trying to get it again. My max was like 275. But I was like,
why are you bragging, guy?
Yeah, I can't do 275 right now, but but I'm getting back there. But I was like, that if you go to the gym as a guy, that should be like the bar.
It should be the bar, yes.
That's the standard.
It's a standard, yep.
Like in the military, you have standard. Like, you got to do like 70 sit up, 70 push up, or something like that.
Correct.
Like it should be a standard, because I don't know, man. Like lately, it's been a lot of crime, a lot of like craziness going on, especially in the economy we're in, and people, like my mom literally got robbed like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but it's like things are getting crazy, and as a man, I think you need to have physical strength and present in order to protect those you love.
I agree, and we have to be physically strong, because if you're not physically strong, then you're not mentally strong.
Right.
And there's a reason why I go to the gym and I push myself. It helps me discipline my flesh and push myself when I'm wanting to give up. And so it's not even sometimes it's not even about doing the workout, bro. It's about the feeling of how I feel and taking the action behind it. Yeah. Because every day's a battle. Every day's a battle.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Every day's a battle.
Yeah. Especially if you're like an entrepreneur or a coach, because as a coach, when you help other people, sometimes you don't shield yourself off correctly, you're taking on their negative energy too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever
I get
experienced
that all the time. You know, I'm a counselor,
you're
bro.
used to that.
I'm
Then
a counselor. I
You're
get that
used to
all
it.
the time, and sometimes
How do you like, you know, build
de-
that wall to like,
decompress,
yeah, or protect yourself from
protect
that?
myself. It literally comes down. There's a reason why I go to the gym in the morning.
Mm,
I wake up at 4 a.m. I connect with God. I set my intentions for my day,
mhm.
and this is the blueprint, right? That I got from Coach Gas Tank. Gas Tank. And so I got that blueprint, and that blueprint is game changer.
Mm,
And so there's a reason why I go to the gym at 4 a.m. and set my intentions, connect with God, connect with the source. I surrender all my insecurities. I surrender all the things that that are holding me. Sometimes money, like overthinking, problems. I surrender it to Him,
mhm,
and then I go to the gym and I hit a hard workout, bro. And
mhm,
then when I show up to school, I show up, I show up, I show up great because guess what? I already did something hard in the morning. I
mm,
already set my intentions for the day. I already busted a crazy workout
mhm,
that when I get to school and I need to show up for my students and be that positive energy, that positive vibe, because maybe they don't get that at home.
mhm.
I'm able to give them that positive energy because I already build up my frequency all the way up to that point, and I can give that to them.
Wow. Okay, another question. As a man, how much uh, cash should you have to be able to call yourself a man?
How much cash should you have?
Cash.
You need to have lots of money.
Yeah. Do you have a number? You have a number?
A number. You need to make well over nowadays probably 500K
Oh, damn. That's right. I think so. I don't know.
at least. I don't know. Just
I work with all types of clients, and the one that you say kind of make over 500 are super confident. It's like or how do you say, capable or competent?
competent.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like people say, like money is a game. No, life is a game, and money is how we keep score. It's kind of more on like the materialistic side, but I think like as a man, you should able to really provide for those you love, and really like trying to take your business or anything as high as you can.
Yeah. And it all comes down to belief. And I feel like nowadays, like men have lost that.
Mm,
Men have lost that ability to provide, that ability to basically be there and show up for their family
mm,
because they're too distracted by this world and they're either too lazy, right? And that's where I was. The vices were keeping me lazy. They were keeping me stuck.
mm,
And as soon as I started upping my self belief, and basically there's another gem that Coach always talks about. We have to see ourselves as already, like, we have to see ourselves as a 10.0 self version of
mm,
ourselves. And that was one of the things I lacked. I didn't know who I was. I had a lack of identity of who
mm,
I was because I was too conditioned by the world. So of
mm.
course I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to do,
Yeah.
because I was too conditioned. I was distracted, and that was keeping me stuck for sure.
So you know, I mean, your coach is very successful at the highest level,
Yeah.
and you're starting out.
Yes.
Um, how did you get the courage to like, what, I want to do that, like, coach people, help people, or be in business for yourself?
Um, I just, because I was a counselor already,
Hmm.
right? So I knew that my calling was to help people.
Hmm.
And Coach always talks about it like our calling is our driving factor to our purpose.
Mm.
So I know that for some reason I got put in a position to be a counselor. And so now I want to help people who, who, I want to help people who are struggling with the same things I struggle with, like being overweight,
Hmm.
not loving themselves, having a low self esteem, and just hating their life. Because that was me.
Hmm.
That was me. I was hating my life. I was stuck on vices, and I want to create that back to the people and give back because a lot of people are stuck there. A lot of people are stuck and don't know a way out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they just, I think, if they willing to take a risk on themselves, they'll be surprised of how far they'll go. Like
Correct.
for you, like, taking small risks here and there to get here, like, how did you like build that courage to do it? Was it like a calling? Was it like I don't know, like a gut feeling or something like that?
It was definitely like I wanted more from life because I told you I going back to to me connecting with God. I wanted more in life, and I wanted more for myself. I wanted more for myself, so I knew that I was called to do more. And for some reason, like I said, God put me as a counselor, and He wanted me to instill belief in my students. He wanted me to instill belief in other people, so I could trick them into believing in themselves. Because that's what my mom gave to me. My mom gave me the belief at a very young age. Why? Because when she was growing up, her, she would go home and they would like call her, like basically they would put her down, just say a bunch of bad stuff to her that she didn't feel loved, and that's why she ran away with my dad to come over here to from Mexico to the States. That's why she came over here, and so she instilled that belief in me, and so I think for me that's my purpose, to be able to instill the belief that my mom instilled in me that I lost throughout time because of me being just distracted by the world, by vices. And then I had to find Coach again and him to instill that belief again in me, to be this version of myself, to share my story, to be able to give back to those around me that have been in my position and give that belief back to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to be in an environment where you're supported to do positive things. You know,
Yep.
I think that's the thing that like might have gotten to you. You had the support environment from your mom, but then now you're stepping into the real world and you didn't have
I
that
didn't.
support. Yeah.
It went away for a bit. So then I started living life. I was distracted. And so I needed to, coach course correcting me back. And I just love the person I'm becoming, the person who I am today. And I just love I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful for the process. I'm grateful for the life that I live.
Yeah.
And I think just being grateful puts you in a, grateful is the attitude, and it connects you to the source.
It's an up spiral. It's
Yeah,
an
it
up
is.
spiral. Do you believe in like frequencies and energy and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Tell me more about it.
Because how you show up, or how you love yourself, is how you show up to the world, right? Because at the end of the day, your inner world, your reality is literally just a mere reflection of your inner world. So if we live in chaos, if we live in problems, if we're always complaining here, if we're always complaining about the money, if we're always complaining about everything, literally that's how you're going to project yourself to the world. You're going to project yourself in that fashion, and people can feel your energy, feel your vibe.
Oh, that 100%, bro. Like even earlier too, right? And I want to give you some credit because like when you were doing your first podcast with Miguel, the first 20 minutes you were tense,
I was.
and then like and then you opened up after that, and the whole room can feel it. It's not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like you. I was like I could feel it just sitting behind the TV.
Yeah.
I was like man, it's we're experiencing in real life.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is, man, like I've seen people like climb their way up the entrepreneur ladder and then also fall in the entrepreneur ladder, and it's all from like just devices or just opening themselves up to like more negative frequency.
Yeah.
What is your advice for people that might be struggling at this time right now? I know we got the recession going on. We got a lot of crazy stuff. Like they're probably stressing about money, things like that. Like, what's your advice on that?
My advice is you gotta stop complaining about everything around you and just start taking a little bit more action. Because at the end of the day, your life should not be dictated by what you're living in the past. It should be dictated by what you're doing right now to propel you forward to become the best version of yourself. Because the thing is, bro, we're too worried about the world. We're too worried about the validation of others that we forget to work on ourselves. And at the end of the day, like I just said before, um, your reality is literally just a mere reflection of your outer world. So if you're hurting inside, if you have chaos inside, if you're always complaining, and you're always letting other people like dictate how you show up to the world, because at the end of the day, that's what people validation is. You let other people tell you who you are, and at the end of the day, it's like, no, you got to claim your authority back. We as men need to claim our authority back and know our identity. There's a reason why God gave the authority to Adam to name all the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we were here put on this earth to name, but sometimes we put a name to things that are are not positive,
Mm.
right? And so we name certain things, and a lot of it has to do. It goes back down to your self talk,
Mm.
and it goes back down to, like I said, what you how you see yourself. Or at the end of the day, is how you love yourself is how you love God.
Mm.
So if you don't love yourself internally, then you're not going to be able to love anybody else around you. And
Yeah.
this is where fitness comes in. This is why fitness has changed my life.
Mm.
Fitness has definitely changed my life because it boosted up my self-esteem. It it led me to stack more wins and become this version of myself, right? Because like you said before, when we were at the gym, I
Mm.
was still stuck on that identity of thinking of that fat kid who would get bullied.
Mm.
But now I see myself and I'm able to see the pictures and I'm like, damn, that's not me no more.
Do you feel like you're like awake, like you're waking up? Like,
I'm waking up right now, bro.
yeah, yeah,
A little bit more, right? Because
yeah,
I was already kind of awake and like just being exposed to the right people.
yeah.
But now I'm more awake, like being able to be on this podcast has just pushed me even more.
Right. I mean, like we get a lot of viral clips too, and
For
stuff
sure.
for our guests and stuff. But like, it's not something crazy magic that we do. You're here with me. We're just talking,
Yeah.
and like it's just your courage to share something vulnerable of your story that maybe someone in the audience is like going through it, and they might just need to hear that little bit.
Yeah.
That will maybe save their life or change their life.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to share our story and impact those around us
Mhm.
because God has put us out here to be a voice and be able to share our stories so we can release the shackles of disbelief that people are being held against them.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I remember some moments. It was crazy. Like, I don't know if I told you, but I did a run across America.
Uh-huh.
So LA to New York.
Yeah.
There's some crazy moments on there, bro. Like, I think I met God there twice on that journey. But there was one time I was in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, it spells misery, kind of like that.
Oh
Misery.
yeah, misery.
Missouri. I was like, damn, this is misery. I was about to pass out. I was like running midday, and I was just like, damn, man, like, why am I doing this? This is like so hard, you know? And I was like, hey, God, um, if you're here with me, or you're gonna like, I don't know. I was like pleading with him, right? Can you
Mm-hmm.
protect me through the rest of it, whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, if you're real, let there be wind, because it was hella hot. And out of nowhere, bro, it was like, whoosh.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a minute, do it again. And it did. Whoosh. I was
That's
like, damn, I
crazy.
got chills. I was
That's
like, I
crazy.
don't want to, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like on that run, like I was favored, like
Yeah.
think about it. Like some dude that haven't trained that hard,
Mm-hmm.
able to make it from
Yeah.
LA to New York on foot,
Yeah.
it was crazy. I was like, oh, there's some moment in there that was like pretty dark, like pretty scary moment too as
Yeah.
well. But I don't know, like after that trip and the whole business built up to it, I was like, I was just giving it up to God. I was like, I was praying every day.
But you were still going through it and you were making it happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was there with you.
Bro, I feel like I was favored because I was like, there's no way. There's no way,
Yeah.
And there's one time I almost passed out too, and I sat down. And it was like Kansas or something. There was no clouds. Out of nowhere, it's like one little cloud that
Wow.
was over like my spot.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's crazy.
I was like, I need to do something. Like, I need to tell people about this.
That's dope.
But it's once like one small little cloud, and that was like over me. And then my cousin picked me up, give me some water and some stuff. I was like, it's crazy. But then like there is some darkness on that run too. Like when I would pass by a cemetery, I could feel the energy is like
Crazy.
crazy. Like I don't know if you see, like, you have a Tesla, right?
I do.
Take it to a cemetery. See if you can see any like.
I might have to try that next time.
No,
I've
I'm
never
telling you,
taken it,
it's a
bro.
meme. It's a meme.
It's a meme.
Like not a meme, but it's a video on YouTube.
Have
Somebody
you
did
done
it.
it or what?
Somebody did. No, I don't have a Tesla. I mean, bro, like every time I pass by a cemetery, I don't know how we end up here, but I would go like this.
That's crazy.
Like, and then the negative energy would lift off of me. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of abandoned cemetery, like on the road, US 40 or something, you know, across America. It was like, it was crazy, man. Like, I know I'm favored. I know I'm meant to do something too, you know.
For sure.
That was chapter 1 that run across America, but I know there's something bigger
More.
that's coming, and I don't know
Yeah.
the exact thing on it, but my passion is podcast.
Yeah.
Like, even if I have like $1 billion, I'll still do podcasts
Yeah.
because it's kind of like I kind of like get to walk in your shoes and see your story and
Yeah.
kind of watch it as a movie as
Yep.
you're talking about
Mhm.
it. And it's kind of cool. I don't know, like it's a vibe, you know?
Yeah. And you, at the end of the day, yeah, you have more to you. You know, your favorite, and we just got to walk the path.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you know it says in the Bible, you got to walk the path, and it will illuminate itself. But we must take the first step. And a lot of people nowadays struggle because it's due to a lack of action.
Yeah.
Right? Because life doesn't happen in a big moment. It happens in a series of moments.
Ooh.
In a series of moments when you don't give up, right? Like my transformation of me going from 215 pounds to 175, being jacked, ripped, like it didn't happen one day, right? It took a process. It took a whole year and a half to get to this point.
Wow.
And so, like I said, it's like life does not happen in one big moment. Everybody's waiting for that big moment, but it literally comes down to a series of moments that led up to that transformation.
Yeah.
And I think everybody nowadays, right, we get that cheap dopamine rush.
Yep.
We always go on social media. And so we feel like we don't got to put in the work. But literally, we have to raise our standards and live our life more intentional. Because how you do anything is how you'll do everything. And that's just a gem from Coach Gas Tank Money, right? Because that's one of the gems that I like to live my life. You know, like if your whole household is best, you know, like if your whole household is like all dirty, if everything around you is like, you know, not clean, then that's where your mind's at. Right? Because like I said before, your internal world is just, or your reality is just a reflection of your internal world.
Damn.
Right? So if your mind is like all over the place, and it's maybe because you got to start cleaning up around your house and doing the little things first, and then you're able to take control and put everything else in your life in order.
You know what's crazy? Have you seen the movie Limitless?
I have not.
Oh, you gotta see it. You gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it.
It's like he took a pill and he become like the smartest person in the world,
It's crazy.
and to solve all kinds of problems. And I think in the film, like the first thing he did after he took that pill was to clean his room.
That's crazy.
No, for real, you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
It's Limitless. Yeah, yeah. Like,
And I'm one of those, like I like to keep my space clean. Like my office is always clean, and I live with one of those. I live with that standard in my life. How you do anything is how you do everything. And at the end of the day, like we all have to raise our standards as men. We have to live life more intentionally and just put in the work, because it's not, like I said, it's not life. Life is not a big moment. It's a series of moments that.
I love that. I love that. It's a series of moments that lead up to your goals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony, this is like a grand scheme question overview. If you can somehow pass this one message to the world, like you would say it and everyone would hear it, you know, like you had the microphone to the world, what would your message be?
My message would be to go for the life that you want, because at the end of the day, people are always going to talk. People are always going to have something to say. So just go for it. Just do it. How Nike says, just do it. And so at the end of the day, just go for it. Take more action. Make it happen. Because we only have one life. And that one life, you do not want to regret it. Because discipline is only a little while, but regret will last a lifetime.
Damn. Can you tell people a little bit more about your coaching program?
Yeah, so a little bit more about my coaching program. It's basically revolves around being transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? Because at the end of the day, in the Bible, it doesn't say to be transformed by emotions, but it's transformed by the renewing of your mind daily. And the structure that I've learned throughout my journey of me hiring my coach, like I was able to learn that accountability, that structure. I could give that back to you guys, and at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. I want to help you build your confidence, burn fat, right? Build your confidence, and build some faith, and help you believe in yourself again. Because, like I said, that was one of the things that my mom gave to me. It was something that I lost, and my coach was able to bring it back to life to me. And so now I want to give that belief to you, because at the end of the day, you guys could do it and make it happen. I'm just a living, walking representation of what's possible.
Sick. Um, how can people find you?
So people can find me on Instagram. That's usually where I'm most active, at Tony_evolve. And I also have a TikTok, but it's linked in my Instagram. So
Okay.
you could just go on my Instagram, and that's where you can find me.
Okay. So, before we let you go, is there anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, so I actually have a clothing brand. It's called Newer, and it's basically revolves around being transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. That's one of the biggest Bible verses that changed my life, and everything else, the process. But it's always about transforming your mind, and so I want people to jump into this new version of themselves, be this new version of themselves, and become that new you, that new wear, and wear it. I want them
Yeah.
to wear it,
Represent.
represent, right? This new creation that they're building within themselves, and identify with the new creation.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, a lot of us identify still with the old creation because we don't want to let go of the past, but we want to start identifying ourselves with the new creation, and this is where new wear comes in. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, new wear, new you, and that's what I want people to identify as.
Yeah. I mean, at every level I climb, I have to like let go of everything from the last.
Yeah,
And then it's right in that message of what you're, putting out right there.
yeah.
Last question, most important one. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. How do you keep your teeth so white?
How do I keep my teeth so white? I actually do use whitening strips.
You do?
Every month, and so that's how I keep them pretty white. And I also got Invisalign, so I
Oh
fix my
shit!
teeth.
I was like, I noticed. I was like, wait a minute. On the podcast, I didn't notice. I was like, wait, why is his teeth so white?
Yeah, so
I
I
guess.
do use whitening strips. It helps with the self-esteem. So go ahead and use the Crest whitening strips. They actually work pretty good. So go ahead and use them. And I got that Colgate smile right here.
Yeah, he does. That's why I just realized. I was like, you got the
But
Colgate smile.
it wasn't always like that.
I used to be
I got
ugly.
I got Invisalign. I used to be big and fat, but now I love who I am. And at the end of the day, that's how I keep my teeth white. So go ahead and use the Crest whitening strips. No, right? We're not sponsored by Crest, but
Not yet. Not yet.
not yet. But
Yeah.
yep, that's how I keep my teeth white. And like I said, I had Invisalign.
Yeah. No. Well, thank you so much for being part of the show today. And I mean, I gotta give props to him because you did your first podcast today, and you're on your second one.
Correct.
And I can't imagine how much stress or like you're breaking through right now, and
I am.
it's like
for
a
sure.
different world.
Yeah.
And
I needed this for sure.
yeah, congratulations, because now you're you have the ability to get on more podcasts, get
Correct.
on more show, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see where you'll be at in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Zune, for having us. Appreciate you, the cool content that you make, and just being able to, just your craft,
Yeah.
being able to put yourself, just being a content creator,
Mhm.
and being able to put yourself in that position where you have to just think about the creativity at the moment, bro. It's a tough job right there, but hey, I give you props. I appreciate you. I appreciate Miguel, and just appreciate being here. At the end of the day, appreciate Coach, and just Coach Gas Tank, right? Because I wouldn't be here I wouldn't be in this position without any of you here. So I appreciate it. I'm grateful, and thank you.
Thank you so much for